Certainly one of the most important records that was ever made in Ireland was In Two, which is the duo of Tommy and Mike. So that's what we did. We created IMC in order to get Arts Council funding. And one of the first things that we did then was that there should be IMC records, that we should, like, there were a lot of musicians on the scene who hadn't been recorded at all, you know, or had been very little recorded. So it was important. There was about 10 or 15 records that IMC made, and In Two was one of those.
The record came about, so we decided, okay, what tunes would we play? He wrote a number of tunes. Unfortunately, I remember I had to be at school because there were public exams, and I remember I had we had a deadline to finish this. It was terrible. But I wrote an arrangement with Mike of Blackbird, and they played that a lot. This is before Brad Meldo played his version. We were in there first, you know, and it was nice. People were playing it on the radio and all that. And then he wrote a couple of Brazilian things, which were really nice. And I wrote a couple of tunes on it. Yeah.
Two quite different personalities. They were playing different kinds of guitars. Mike was playing a nylon string with his fingers, and Tommy was playing his steel string. Some of their music, some of it was, and it wasn't just standards. I remember they used to do some Police songs and stuff like that. But the rapport between the two of them and the amount of playing that they did together meant that it wasn't like any other guitar duo you've ever heard. They finished each other's lines. Sometimes it wasn't clear whose solo it was, and it didn't matter. And the tune choice was great, but ultimately what it was that because they knew each other so well, that there's a really supportive atmosphere in that record of neither is trying to outshine the other.
We did a small tour, and for fact we went to Tel Aviv, and we played in Tel Aviv in the school, and we did a tour of Israel. That was organised by the Foreign Office, and I think the connection there was a friend of Mike organised that. So it was great because we had already got the, we had a repertoire ready, you know. So that's very well. We got the nomination in the Jerusalem Post. I kept that. There was a guitar festival, but it was guitar, sorry, but it was like classical, blah, blah, blah. But they singled us out as being one of the highlights. I got that, yeah, I kept that. So it was very good. And we were burning that night. For some reason, everything seemed to go well. I'll just give an example. Mike had a different way to say, just play E, an open E or something. And he played this Passagelia thing, da-da-do-do-do-do, you know, okay? And on top of that, he would play things, quando, quando. He put all these different stuff on top, and we'd break into, once he would start a theme that I would know, we'd just continue, you know. It could be like a happy birthday, and he would play it in odd meters. Now, there was kind of that open playing with Mike, and then he could be started playing a rhythm on the other side of the guitar, the wooden part, and do things like that, you know. But that particular night was particularly a great night for us because we were both in great form. So yeah, that was a great experience, yeah.
What you hear is two musicians trying to help each other and support each other and encourage each other and make each other sound better. And it's a beautiful thing. And I would say that stands alongside Out on His Own, Louis Stewart's solo record. I think it stands alongside those as the best jazz output of the Irish jazz community.